Hello folks, welcome to the channel and welcome to the Man Cave. So what are we talking about today? Well, today we are going to be talking about this. This is the W702 from manufacturer Carpuride, and it is their 7-inch screen. Well, what does it actually do, I hear you ask yourselves? Well, basically it allows you to do a little bit of on-screen navigation. You can make and receive phone calls, you can receive messages, and you can listen to music and podcasts, that kind of thing. Well, how does it do it? Well, it gets your mobile device and via Bluetooth it sends the data to the screen for your viewing pleasure. So if you've got an Apple iPhone, it uses the CarPlay app, and if you've got an Android phone, it uses Android Auto. So that's basically it in a nutshell. So what I think we'll do is have a closer look at this. This has actually been sent to me free of charge by Carpuride for me to try out. So I haven't actually opened it yet. So let's have a look at the outside of the box. So it's nicely packaged, and looking at the outside of the box, what does it say on the back there? So it says Bluetooth, IP67, we can do music, voice controls, TF or micro SD card as well we can use inside it. So nicely presented on the outside. Main features: phone link, take calls, listen to music, real-time navigation and more, and then supports Bluetooth music and hands-free calls. Voice control supports Apple Siri and Android voice control. Easy to install, apparently 10 minutes. And yeah, so it's nicely packaged. So I think what we'll do is have a look and see what is inside the box. I would say it would have been nice had Carpuride actually put the model number on the box, i.e. W702, but there we go. So let's have a look to see what we get in the box. Quality of packaging is very good actually, and as we dive deeper inside, yeah, all looks nice. Bit of foam, and there we have the screen. So this is their 7-inch screen. Let's just get out of there, and there's a power cable on the back there. And we have some more foam, get rid of that, bit of cardboard, and then we have a ram style kind of mount, another power cable, some instructions, and then a fuse. So anything else in that? Oh yes, and then we have a little spanner. So let's have a look at what we've got in the box then. Starting off with the manual. It's a nice manual, a little bit small in places, but it starts off with the wiring diagram, how to get power to the unit, and then it tells you all the various icons, what they mean on the display itself, various buttons on the unit, and it takes you through the Bluetooth pairing process, and then it also shows you how to connect to a motorcycle helmet, and then how to install the brackets and that kind of thing on the bike. So nice and detailed. We then have a little spanner if you haven't got a spanner. Got a spare 3-amp fuse with it. And then we've got the mounting system itself, very simple, takes about 3 or 4 minutes to fit. It's a RAM style mounting system, i.e. the ball and socket, and the ball on the back of the unit sits in here, and then you just tighten it all up. It seems to be made of metal, nice quality, and then we've got 2 nuts on the top here. You just screw them down either with a supplied spanner or your own spanner, and then this bit fits under the handlebars, and then you've got, it looks like a little bit of rubber here, so this is going to provide a nice bit of grip, and it also stop your handlebars from getting scratched. So that's quite nice quality actually. And then we've got 2 forms of power supply. So this one here, it goes into your bike's USB supply or a power bank if you've got that in your pocket, that type of thing. And you've got it's a waterproof connector, and then you've got a cap on the top there. So that's the connector, which goes into the back of the device. Couldn't be any simpler, just align the arrows, push them together, and then tighten it up, and then voila, you have a waterproof connection. Very simple. And then the second form of power supply is connecting it directly to your battery. Very simple. It's a fuse connection. So you've got the 3-amp fuse in there as well. And again, we have the waterproof plug connector on the top, exactly the same as the other one. So let's have a closer look at the unit. Before we actually have a look at the unit, let's very quickly talk about who Carpuride are. I've actually never heard of them until they asked me to review this product. Well, basically they've been in the marketplace for about 12 years, selling their wares all around the world, and they've been selling this type of device predominantly for use in motor cars. It's only recently that they've branched out into selling these units for motorbikes, and they do 2 units at the moment. The 702, which is the 7-inch screen, that's going to cost you about £220 if you go to the Carpuride website, and they do the 502, which is a 5-inch screen, and that's going to cost you about £200. You can also jump on your local Amazon website, and in the UK they sell these units on the Amazon website, so go and check them out there as well. Anyway, let's go and have a deep dive into this 702. In the hand, it feels like it is very well made. It's made of a hard kind of plastic material, and we've got a built-in sun visor at the top, which is not removable, and on the side here we have the power button, and then beneath that we have a slot which is a waterproof slot, and you can put a micro SD card in there for music, videos, photos, that kind of thing. It's a little bit fiddly to actually put the card in there. It will take about a 64GB card according to the specifications, and I've actually got a 156GB card in there at the moment, and that seems to be working okay. Fiddly to insert the card and to remove. I haven't got any nails, so I had to use a small bladed screwdriver to insert the SD card, and also to get it out, and then to actually pull it out, either turn the unit upside down and waggle it about and the card will drop out, or get your wife's best tweezers in my case and remove said SD card from the device. So a little bit fiddly there if you haven't got any nails. And on the back there we've got the fixed ball for you to mount it into the RAM style mounting system, and yeah, it just feels like it's a fairly well made unit. Actually, I'll put the dimensions up on the screen here, and the only thing they don't show is the distance from the front of the device to the back here. It's about 6.5 centimeters. I've got a power bank supplying the device at the moment, so let's power it up. Press the button on the side, and then the screen should fire up, and then there we go, a nice bright screen. I've actually got the screen protector on at the moment. I'll remove that when we put it on the bike. So it's a lovely screen. You've already got the dimensions. Let's pop it down here, and comparison wise, there's my iPhone 14. I'll just spin it around, put it down here, and that just gives you some idea as to the size of the display. So that's my iPhone 14. The unit itself is rated to IP67, or ingress protection rating. 6 means it's the highest rating you can get for any kind of dust, solid debris from getting into the unit, so it's got the highest rating there. And the 7 means that it's a water rating, and it's secure against water ingress up to a depth of 1 meter for a time of 30 minutes. So we can scroll through the various parts of the display either with the good old finger, and it's nice and smooth, or on my case on the motorbike, I've got my summer gloves here, so let's just use the non-capacitance part of the glove. So there we go, just the normal finger of the glove, and scrolling back, let's go back home, back into CarPlay, and yeah, that seems to work fine. Music, that's good. So that's using the normal part of the glove and not the special capacitance part of the glove. So yeah, seems to work well. I'm a big fan of these kind of devices on your motorbike. It keeps everything nice and tidy and clutter free. It also means you don't have to have your expensive phone on show on the handlebars, which means if you're traveling slow and you come to a stop at the traffic lights, nobody can potentially steal it from the handlebars. I've now peeled away the protective film that was on the display, and the display now looks stunning. Nice and bright, lovely, vibrant colors on this 7-inch display unit. We've already said there is no internal battery, there's no internal GPS, and there are no loudspeakers built into the device. So how are we going to listen to audio from the device? Well, basically, depending on what vehicle that you are riding, then in my case on my motorbike, I'm going to be using a Cardo Pack Talk Edge. But if you're using any other kind of vehicle, I guess if you've got something like this, some form of Bluetooth audio listening device, then you can connect those to the unit and listen to the audio. So let's now have a look at the functionality of the unit itself. So this is the home page, for want of a better word, and then if we just start on the top row of icons, there's a help button. It just gives you an email address to contact Carpuride if you need some support, and then we can actually change the backgrounds on here as well, whatever one you fancy. Then there's how we can adjust the screen brightness. The actual time is set directly from the iPhone or your Android device when you connect it, so you don't have to worry about that. Green square means we are now connected via Wi-Fi and Apple CarPlay is up and running. The next one is the Bluetooth. Then we have the graphic equalizer, and we can set those to whatever you want, and we can just press the reset button here and it'll reset back to a normal flat line. And then you have a volume for media and voice, so you can set those to whichever level you want. So let's set them back to maximum because I'm a bit on the deaf side, shall we say. Get rid of that, and then we can go back to the home screen top left. So we've got some icons here, so that's for Apple, that's for Android. Audio output will come to very shortly. We can turn the display off, just tap the screen back on again, and then coming down the bottom right we've got the settings, Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. Go back to the home. Then I've actually loaded stuff onto the card, so just to show you what I can do. I don't know if you'd actually use this for anything. So I've got a movie on here, one of my videos that I've done, and hopefully that'll be on my channel very shortly. So I mean, you can just see the quality of the screen on that. That is pretty impressive. That really is impressive. That's on a BMW R1300 GS. There's somebody else riding it, not me. And yeah, the quality on that, I've got to say, is really, really good. Very much HD looking. And there I am saying the bloke's absolutely mad. So yeah, very nice screen there. I'm not sure if you ever use that part to it. And if I just go up here, then you can actually put some photos on there as well. You have to use PNG. I've tried JPEG, it doesn't actually bring them up, but if you upload them as a PNG file, it's quite slow. I don't know if that's because I've got a big card in there, 156 gigs. It does say you should only use 64. Maybe that's why this does take a little while to load the photos, but it does load the photos, and the quality, I've got to say, is really good. I didn't think the screen would be as good as this, but that is, I've got to say, that is a really good quality screen. It really is. And hopefully we'll show you the next photo. It is a bit slow, that's one thing I will say. And there's the next photo. Again, you can see the quality is very good, but it is, I'm going to say it is a little bit on the slow side, but that may be down to the size of card that I've got in there. And then we have audio on the SD card as well. I'm not sure when you would use that, but the facility is there as well. Other two buttons that we have on the bottom are phone and music, but because we are now connected to Apple's CarPlay in my case, and that's been done via Wi-Fi, it basically says because you've got that, you can't use these. So there we go, while iPlay is working, you cannot use the Bluetooth devices. So that is perfectly normal because we are now using Apple's CarPlay connected via the Wi-Fi. So it won't do two things at once. What else is there? So let's have a look at CarPlay. So there we go, that's into CarPlay. And again, it's a really nice screen. You've got the main screen and you've got some bars down here. There's the time, there's my battery level of my phone, and then the reception level as well. So these are apps I think that I've already opened, I think. And then we can actually, bottom left, we can split the screen, which is pretty good. And then back to the full screen, and then just scrolling through. Yeah, it looks really, really good. And then we've got Google Maps. What else is there? And the other thing I'm going to use, maps, messages, music. So that's all there. And then phone book. I might have to blur some of this stuff out, but yeah, it's all on there. You've got the keypad, contacts, voicemail. There won't be anything there. I'll end that actually. Recents, yeah, favorites as well. So they're all there. So it is pretty good stuff. I guess it's standard CarPlay stuff, but I've never used CarPlay before. But I think it is very, very impressive. So what we'll do now is talk about how do we connect the audio to here and your phone to here in the correct order, because that is very important. So most people then on YouTube, all the reviewers, they tell you to, as per the manual, they tell you to connect the Carpuride to your intercom unit and then the phone to the Carpuride, all via Bluetooth. And obviously CarPlay, Apple CarPlay does use a Wi-Fi connection as well eventually. And I've actually done this setup that I'm going to tell you with my Senna 10S that I replaced from my Cardo Patrol, and it works brilliantly. If you look on the manual, there is a page there. See that grey box at the top there, it's got a helmet being connected directly to your iPhone. Well, that is the way to connect it, folks. I know because I've sat for hours on my kitchen table swearing and cursing trying to get the unit to perform as it should perform. So I don't know with the latest headsets whether there's a difference there. I absolutely have no idea, but to get it to work really well, and I'm very happy with the unit. Basically what you need to do is just connect your phone to the Cardo unit via Bluetooth and then connect your headset, and I've done this with my Cardo Pack Talk and the Senator 10S, and it works brilliantly. And then connect your headset to your phone via Bluetooth. But I found this way everything works really well, and also I'm able to keep the functionality of the buttons, so I can skip tracks on here, I can answer the phone, I can cancel the phone calls on here as well. Other reviewers have said they can't do that. The unit becomes redundant in effect. I'm not doing anything which is not already in the user's manual, in case you're worried about that. So let's crack on then. So I have already deleted the Bluetooth connections that were there already between my phone and the Carpuride unit. I've left my Bluetooth connections already on here because it makes no difference, and also to my Senator 10S. And I've just done a factory reset on the unit, so it is just like it's come out of the box. And let's just power it up then. And then what we're going to do is just connect the phone to the unit itself. So I'm going to go to settings and then go to Bluetooth and then go to discover list. So it's just going to try and find it, and then just look at my phone, and then on my phone already it's come up with the Carpuride. So I'm just going to tap the Carpuride B822FO, not the Carp B Trans. So just going to tap that. Should come up with a coding pair or something, and there we go, passkey. It's on both the phone and the unit, so pair them, and then it will say allow contacts and favorite sync, allow. So it is now connected, and then it says use CarPlay with Carpuride. So CarPlay automatically connects your iPhone to your car's built-in display and can access your phone whilst it is locked. So I'm just going to click use CarPlay, and then what we're looking for is a green square, which is the iPlay icon on the icon bar at the top, and we've got it, so it's connected. So what I will show you is, let's just have a look at the Wi-Fi settings on my phone. So already on my Wi-Fi setting, it's actually connected to the Carpuride. And if we go to Apple Play, so that's going to be down in the general settings, CarPlay, and then you'll see on there it's got Carpuride on there, and yeah, so that's all connected kind of thing. So yeah, so that is all good to go. I've got to obviously get some power to the unit on the bike. When I put it on my BMW using the USB connector, plugged it into the USB dash, and it didn't come on at all. So obviously if you try that on your bike into the USB connector, it may very well be that that connector hasn't got enough power to actually power the unit itself. So I think my BMW GS1250 is putting out about 1.5 amps, but it wasn't enough to power the screen. However, when I put it on my Triumph 1200, as you can see here, it was enough to power the screen. I think that's putting out about 2 amps. So don't be worried if you plug it into your bike and it doesn't work. Use the hard wire connection direct to the battery, which is what I did on my BMW, albeit as a temporary measure. What we're going to do now is go out for a ride on the bike, and I'll show you how good this unit is.
The way it's been connected, we can't use these phone and the music. Nothing will happen there because I'm not using the Bluetooth. So what I've got then is on, let's go to the iPlay CarPlay screen. So I've got all the apps there. So the other apps I've got on here, for instance, I've got an app called Scenic. So that allows me to do point specific navigation, so I can make my own routes up and then transfer them onto the Scenic map, so I don't have to rely on computer generated routes, so I can do my own thing. That's really good if you're doing your own tours and that kind of stuff. So that's on there as well, so that's really good. And what else have we got on there? We've actually put an app called My Radar. So I'm on the north coast of Jersey, and again I've got my thin summer gloves on, not the those bits there, so just using it with my normal finger. So that's where I am, and that app there, you can see all the way through France, and the Clermont-Ferrand to the south of Paris is raining, so that's always handy. So it's really nice and clear actually. So what else is there to talk about? Nothing really. So let's go to Apple Maps. I've got the route in there, and let's proceed to the route. So we're going to go from up here and then down to what's that called? It's a parashal. It's, yeah, so we're going to go there. So let's go to music. Let's get the music going. So I've got some music in my headset. So the good thing about this setup, I can actually utilize the buttons on the headset here on the Cardo Pack Talk. The other setup you couldn't do. So without further ado, let's go and ride the route. It's a glorious evening today, and yeah, it's really actually very easy to use with the old hands. Okay, I don't know whether if you've got a thick winter glove whether the screen will actually work with them, but that's something if you've got one of these, make some comments in the comment section down below. So I've got my music running. There we go. Let's go and put the GPS screen up there, the navigation screen, and there we go. Really nice size screen, and you can just compare it. Maybe the contrast is not as good as my Garmin, but size wise, yeah, it looks really good. So at this point in time, I'm going to be running it for a little while, and if it's as good as what I'm hoping it's going to be, then I think the Garmin might be being replaced by this lovely big unit down here. I really like the size of that, really do. Right folks, we're now on our way. Yeah, the size of the screen is really nice. They do the 5-inch screen, but you know what, I actually like the size of the 7-inch screen. So the way it's configured at the moment, I can hear my music, and then I can get the GPS turn-by-turn navigations overlaid over the top of the music. So the music reduces, and then the navigation directions are spoken over the top of it, and then once that's done, the music levels come up. I was never able to do that on my Zumo, and as I said back there, I can actually use the Cardo buttons as well, so I can actually skip a track, and I've got Hey Siri as well. So the turn-by-turn navigation's talking to me now. That's telling me up ahead, turn right in 1/3 of a mile. And let's make a phone call again, all hands free. Hey Siri, phone Diane home. So it's now making a phone call. There we go. It's phoning my good lady, and yeah, it's come through. Hello Gorge, can you phone me back? And I can actually end the phone call. She's put the phone down, or I could have ended it up here as well. So she's going to phone me back. So what we'll do, I'll actually answer it by pressing one of the buttons on the Cardo Pack Talk itself. So there we go. I can either answer it from here, or there we go, from the Cardo. Thanks so much, dear. Bye. On the display then you can have like a multi-screen. Let's go back to the multi-screen. So there we go. So we've got my navigation, and then we've got the music as well, and then we've got it visually telling me what's going to happen next. So in a mile it's going to be turn right. So folks, I hope that's been of some interest to yourselves. Yeah, I didn't know anything about Carpuride, but I think if they can sort it out so it doesn't become very glitchy, I think they've got a fabulous system, and I'm really tempted to switch it between my Zumo and this. That's how impressed I am with it at the moment. That's going to be, I might just test it for a little while just to see how good it actually is. But again, if you've got one of these, please make some comments in the comments section down below for myself, and indeed for other people who are thinking about getting one of these units. But very impressive. Hey Cardo, next track. There we go. It's playing the next track, and you can see down on the screen there a bit of doom and gloom by the Rolling Stones. Yes, I hope that's been of interest to yourself. If you fancy getting one of these, then I'll put a discount code. If I can work all that out, I'll put a discount code down in the description down below. I get a little bit of a kickback for it,
and every little bit does help. So that's it folks, that is the Carpuride W702, a great unit that comes with a 2-year warranty. It's not just for big adventure bikes, it's for any motorbike, and as you've seen, it gives you access to all the great functions that we've already spoken about. Adventure bikes normally come with an accessory bar running over the top of the instrument cluster, and on that bar you can mount devices like GPS units. I am hoping in the not too distant future that maybe Carpuride will have a look at coming up with a suitable bracket so that you can mount your lovely 702 or 502 onto that accessory bar, which would allow you to keep the unit a lot closer to the accessory bar. Well, that's it folks. Click on the link in the description down below and that will take you to Carpuride to give you a little bit more information on the products that they sell for motorbikes, together with all the accessories that they do as well. That's it. Ride safe. We'll see you all again soon in the not too distant future, and cheerio for now.